That they had UAB come to the house the other night and they beat UAB, and from what it looks like right now, just from the scout that we've went over, is they got a bunch of shooters, and they're really shooting the ball well right now. So we're gonna have to really buckle down on defense this game.
You know, you got 2 home games in 3 days, and you guys have been used to this before, but finally getting back into that rhythm with a new year, fresh off of a conference win over FIU. How much momentum does that give you guys entering these games this week for either of you?
It's a lot of momentum. The 3-game home stretch is something that we really needed coming to the new year, especially starting the conference play. So really looking forward to it.
What impressed you guys most? I wasn't here to ask, but what impressed each of you guys about your win against FIU, and what does that say about how well you guys can do down the home stretch and finish the season?
I think it was more about the steadiness of the team, the flow of the game. You know, there was never no high, no low. You know, we knew we had to finish out the game, the last 6 minutes of the game, considering what happened against La Tech. So it was really a big focus on ours and making sure we finished that game consistently and did what we had to do to get to win.
Guys, speaking of staying steady, it's been nice to see you guys getting back in rhythm, at least here. How is it to get your legs down? You know, you had that little break, now you're finally back in the stretch of games.
It feels good. Back playing with everybody consistently is a good feeling, especially, like you said, the 3-game home stretch, so just ready to play.
You know, from first game of the season against Alabama State to today, you know, if there's one thing that stood out about your all's progress and growth as a team, and I guess for either of you, what would that be and why?
I would say just the mature level. You know, I'd say going into that A&M game, we had some guys that we might have been asking too much out of. Not necessarily that I'm saying guys haven't played well, but I think the mold of our team and the identity of our team wasn't really found going into that Alabama game. Well, the first game of the season, and then to now is we've kind of molded ourselves and found our identity, and I think we've stuck with it, and we've been doing well with it.
You know, one guy that played really well last game for you off the bench was Jalen Butts, probably his most significant minutes of the year. You know, what did you see from him kind of leading up to that game and throughout practice since then?
But he been really working. Coming off the bench, he knows he has to bring energy, so he just brought a whole lot of energy. In the La Tech game, he was doing the same thing. He just got in foul trouble, so he didn't really get to show it.
You know, just looking ahead, after that Rice game, you got North Texas, who won the Conference USA championship game last season. You know, how big of that game is that going to be? You know, is there like any tension going in that game, seeing it was kind of Western Kentucky versus North Texas in that game?
I don't think really North Texas is our concern right now. I'd say Rice is our concern, considering that's tomorrow. And then come Friday, we'll start worrying about North Texas.
You know, with the way they shoot the 3, like you had mentioned earlier, second in the league in threes made per game. You know, just coming off that FIU game where they lead the league in most threes made per game, I guess what can you learn from that heading into this one, or is there any kind of similarities or anything like that you can take away?
Oh, well, I'd say it's kind of just an eye-opener. You know, we've seen what FIU did, and I'm sure they've went and watched the film of what FIU did the first half, and I'm saying they're going to try to resemble that some. And then we just got to, you know, we had some defensive lapses that first half, and we got to go back and watch the film on those, which we already have and talked about it and discuss it, and then just get better. You know, every day you go into practice, it's all about getting 1% better every day.
You know, it's been almost exactly 1 month since the tornadoes hit Bowling Green, and even though it feels like forever ago, it was just yesterday. So for you guys, does this season, from this point on, at least just feel a little different? Like every time you play at home, does it feel like you're playing for more than just the win? Do you feel like you're playing for the fans? And does that add like a little extra motivation for either of you guys, you know, for the rest of the season?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like the community is really behind us now. Everybody's come together since the tornado happened. I just feel like it's bigger than basketball at this point.